is a case that sounds frankly outlandish to me. That a man, a free citizen, has been being given sedative-laced drinks without his knowledge or consent, so that he can be jabbed with the AstraZeneca COVID drugs that he has made plain he doesn't want. With that in mind, that's my take, that's my reading of it. Can you give us the background to what's been going on and for how long?
Well, just to correct you there, it's true that AstraZeneca was back in 2021, moved on since then, but that's it's a detail. They're still looking at providing these mRNA gene therapy treatments. That's what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. So the case is a chap called Adam and his mother Catherine. Names can't be mentioned for legal reasons, they can't be identified. And neither can the local authority. It's called an ICB. They can't be identified either at the current time. Essentially, this all goes back to, everything starts, Neil, as you know, from 2020 in COVID. That's a new era for us all. Come end of 2020, 21, then the government said everyone should have these wonderful, safe and effective new vaccines, as they're called. And first in line would have been the vulnerable. You'll find the vulnerable, such as Adam. So I should say Adam has got Down syndrome. He's in his late 30s and he has autism and moderate learning disabilities. So he's not unlike perhaps your typical Downs person as we perceive them, which is smiling, tactile, enjoy a hug, and not without emotional intelligence, at least, even though they can't express themselves on intellectual matters. Anyway, he was in line. He generally rejects medical treatment. He doesn't like, he never goes to hospital, doesn't like doctors and treatments generally, and he was never going to have any injection. And so what happened was that those caring for him, he lives in a residential care, they told the authorities, I guess the authorities applied, as they are required to do, to the Court of Protection to say, can we have permission, do we think it's in his best interests that Adam gets the COVID vaccine? And then it's over to the court to determine whether or not it is in Adam's best interest to have it. And that started in 2021. He's, because he was resistant, they had to give him anxiolytic medication to make him a bit more drowsy. That didn't work. Eventually, for the first time, and they went back to find an anaesthetist, and they basically went back to the court. And in 2023, November, the court said, right, we're satisfied. He can be sedated, or he can be given this medication as recommended by the consultant. That will be safe, we determine, and then he can be given the injection for his own good. And that's precisely what happened then. In November last year, he was knocked out. They drugged his drink, injected him, and he was, and that's that. That was on the day of the order in November last year. They did it again in June of this year, and that's another story. But
and his family are persisting in their efforts to bring this to an end, to stop this treatment of Adam.
I'm instructed by his mother. So I won't discuss views of the views of father, not expressed in court at the current time. That might change. We shall see. But his mother has taken a very active role trying to stop this. She's concerned that he doesn't need it. He's survived 4 years without it, and we just don't know what the harms might be for this drug which they're giving. That's perhaps the simplest way of putting it.